Okay. You talked about Ogun State being an enormous construction site.
Recipe Salopita, facts they have to speak for themselves.
What's your take about the different factions in the APC in different states right now where they are fighting amongst themselves, seeking to gain control of party structure, so to speak?
Basically,
let me go to another jurisdiction in the template for it. I do comparative analysis, please permit me.
No problem.
New Labour came into being, spearheaded by former Prime Minister Tony Blair and the former Prime Minister Gordon Brown. They belong to two distinct camps, but they were always keeping their eyes on the ball. They wouldn't rock the boat. When it is time for election, they bury and sing their differences for the Labour Party to win. Now, in like manner, you have different tendencies within all political parties. APC not an exception in Ogun State.
So should we get to the point where live bullets are...
Well, I mean, there's no way I can defend...
At least, yeah, I mean, the two former prime ministers you talked about, we've not heard of them using live bullets amongst themselves.
Allow me.
Okay.
It is not been conclusively proven. Let the police do their investigation. The people that were behind shooting. I really don't have the facts other than the fact that what I've read in the newspapers. Violence in any way or form must be condemned by all the right-thinking members of the society. And the governor of the state, who is the chief security officer of the state, has spoken that there's no way we're going to condone violence. And that please don't leave me with this. You see, in politics, mudslinging, polemics, name calling, what have you. I mean, these are tools that politicians use to discredit themselves in order to get to power. Therefore, I'm saying that all of this you're saying, it's about who get what. Don't forget, we'll be going for our Congress, and then officers and escorts of the party will be elected. Naturally, you want the contending parties to want to outsmart themselves, but not to the extent of degenerating into violence. And I know, before the election, like Gordon Brown and Tony Blair will always do, we will sink our differences, keep our eyes on the ball, and then win resoundingly.
But they have to appeal to those who are ascribing that violence to them, or those who are participating in those violence to sheath their swords.
What I believe, you don't appeal to criminals.
Yes.
Let the police do their work dispassionately, professionally, and get live bullets in politics. I mean, go to the marketplace, go canvass your ideas, let people know who should be entrusted with the responsibility of governance. Count me out of it when they begin to carry gun.
But you should be concerned, because this is the same thing that others see happening in other parties. It's a good thing you're doing comparative analysis, and they see it happening in that party. And now, the progressives, there's a list of the places where people will expect that kind of thing to pop up. But if it's popping up here, shouldn't you be concerned that, look, if they don't approach this properly, it might just happen elsewhere, given this precedent?
I agree with you absolutely. It's got to be nipped in the bud. It's got to be checked. And people, the culprits, should be found out and punished. I've been involved, not in violent politics. My brand is different. But a lot of behind the scene actions take place. The game run-of-the-mill politicians play, you will be shocked. Again, they are fifth columnists. Again, you see, I'm not in any way particularizing, but I'm talking generally. Some people, in an attempt to have the sympathy of members of the public, go to the extent of contriving crisis. I don't have the facts, but it does happen. Give a dog a bad name in order to hang it. And therefore, it is not my statutory responsibility. I don't have the training. I don't have the wherewithal to go out there, investigate and fish out the culprits. But again, I say that the people that are statutorily responsible for this should be up and running and nip this in the bud.
I'm happy you just linked it to your kind of politics, which shouldn't be that of violence, and that is what almost everyone should be talking about now. But going back to the gains of your party from this, bit of roughness in the PDP, let's look at changing things, for instance. And now we're getting to see that some of those issues being raised by these people before they came to your party are being addressed in the PDP. And secondly, if not almost all of them, they left their party not because we haven't at least seen anyone to come forward to say, I left because of the love of my country. So the best word is to say some of them, if not all of them, left because of some selfish interest. Is your party ready to accommodate some of these selfish needs of these people?
I disagree with you regarding the motive behind defecting from one party to the other. I can't speak for them, but based on the facts that are in the public domain, they have said that we're leaving this party because this party will continue to take Nigeria to the rails. And we're joining this other party in order to rescue Nigeria.
I didn't hear anyone say that.
I have read some of them say that. And again, as I've said, it is about 2015. For you to be able to rescue your country, for you to be able to see to the welfare of the people, you must have the hold of power. And what is at stake is that presidential diadem, the raw, absolute, unrefined powers as enshrined in the Constitution and entrusted in the hands of the President of Nigeria. Some people are saying that it is our turn to rule. We had an agreement with them, we're going to rule for one term, and therefore the presidency must revert to the north. Some guys that were expected to join us couldn't join because they believe my presidential ambition will not see the light of the day if I go to this party. So what is at stake is 2015.
Oh,
and what is at stake is that power at the center. Unless and until when we massively decentralize and devolve the powers, we will continue to have this cycle of
making that center unattractive.
I don't know whether you read an article by New York Times. Yeah. Praising the efforts of the incumbent governor of Lagos State, the class captain of the group of governors that have demonstrated that governance is not rocket science. Go to Ogun, Osun, Ekiti, Oyo, Edo. I mean, people who are objective analysts will tell you that, oh, we can see something happening here.
I didn't expect you to mention the PDP all of those.
There'll be flashes here and there. But we are saying that we deserve more than flashes. They'll tell you that something is happening there. And therefore, if a party has been in power for 12, 13, 14 years, and your HDI, Human Development Index, the GDP, your electricity, whatever, the parameters are not anything to take to bank, then in some other jurisdiction, that strong anti-incumbent sentiment will sweep away the government in power. But reverse has been the case in Nigeria. And that is the peculiarity of the Nigerian situation, that when a party has done poorly, has performed below bar, in other jurisdictions they are voted out. Here, they win resoundingly. So something must be wrong with our democracy.
Thank you for coming on, Mr. Bisi Adegbuyi, member of the All Progressive Congress and a legal practitioner. We're back after this. Thank you. Join us again.